Alright, and so here is some other translation of Ephesians 6:12. For our battle is not against flesh and blood, but against rulers. Okay, so here's one way that you can tell the verse has been corrupted. It's a poor translation. It is a corrupt, bad translation of the Bible. The author just didn't spend, if I'm being nice, the author just didn't spend enough time to translate it properly. Okay, the battle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers. Okay, so what is a ruler? Well, it's a man, right? So it is flesh and blood. And so the verse right there presents a contradiction, stating opposite to itself, right? The verse has two tongues, right? It's a bad verse. And so this is an extremely useful tool when you are discerning a verse, right? If you read a verse in the Bible and it happens to lead to the destruction of a nation, right? That's obviously a bad verse. If the verse it seems like foolishness or something else, it's not God being foolish, right? It's the author oftentimes having translated the verse very, very poorly, and sometimes, right, mankind, right, they have motivations, right? So a temple, any sort of place that practices preaching, well, it needs enough finance in order to sustain its walls. And so this is going to present a problem, because this creates pressure for the church or temple or whatever it is, synagogue, whatever you want to call it, a house of worship, unto the point that if they don't preach a message that is popular enough, well, then that house will go bankrupt and collapse, and that whatever was being preached there used to stop being preached. Now via online, we have other means of distributing sermons. And so this is actually something that the Apostle Paul talks about. He says, I'm not going to take money for my preaching. That would give me a bias to preach for money. And this is also one of the reasons that Christ himself is not very wealthy, right? And so popular, very, very popular messages, you might want to listen to what they're saying and discern if it's true or false. And so understanding these sort of cruxes, these key issues where, if a church is trying to uphold its walls, well, then they're going to have to preach something that is capable of generating enough finance to uphold their walls. So understanding this is going to be important. This is also going to play a factor in many translations of biblical scriptures where they have just been a little bit manipulated, right? A good version of the Bible will build, establish, uphold, and maintain the kingdom of heaven on earth. It will produce scriptures that will cause the wealth of all the nations of all the earth to flow in and through your nation, your community, your people, your life. They are extremely beneficial if interpreted correctly and if applied properly. So making sure to understand that and keep a discerning mind in regards to certain verses where obviously they just contradict themselves. It doesn't make any sense. Some people even think, oh, well, the Bible's foolishness because of this sort of thing. But it's just a bad translation. It's just the author didn't take enough time to translate the verse properly.